What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here. Welcome to the XLeads live stream. So every single Saturday morning, I go live and I go over something about XLeads. I answer all of your questions. This is our weekly live stream we do on the XLeads YouTube channel. The reason is on, the Flip It Dirk channel, the Zach Ginn channel, all my other social medias, right? I like to stick it strictly to real estate investing and wholesaling real estate. Now, obviously, everybody knows XLeads is the best software ever, but if I get so many people sign up every single week to XLeads and they're like, Zach, I need help going over it, and can you make more XLeads videos? It's like, well, I'd have to make an XLeads video like every other day on those channels, and it just sounds like it's too promoting, and I just want to make content for people that are like have XLeads and want to go actually look at it. That's why we have the XLeads YouTube channel. So every single Saturday I hear, so I actually got back from the XLeads Mastermind in Los Angeles, and I decided to take a couple days of, relaxation in the out here in the desert in Coachella. And let me show you real quick. It's pretty cool out here. There's scorpions, rattlesnakes, Gila monsters. I actually saw a roadrunner. I didn't even know a roadrunner was a real animal until I saw one. I think it went meat, but it's a real thing. Pretty crazy out here. I still miss Florida. But basically what I want to do today is show exactly how the Ninja Mode CRM works. And so I've been seeing a lot of questions about, Zach, how does the Ninja Mode CRM work? And I don't think we've done a live stream specifically about the XLeads CRM. So we talk about XLeads dialing, XLeads cold calling, texting, e-signing, email blasting. But how can we do this in the CRM portion? How do I manage my leads, all these things? And I kind of didn't do one because I've been sitting on this video. My editors have been just kind of sitting. They've been editing for a while. So I actually did a 2-hour CRM specific Ninja Mode tutorial, and the editing's been kind of intense on that one. And we're going to drop it on the Flip It Dirk channel. It's going to be really cool. But what I want to just go live instantly and show you, because one of the biggest epidemics, one of the biggest problems I see in the wholesaling space are people who have leads and they're just not doing anything with them, right? So we had a guy, Tim, on the Discord yesterday, and homeboy, and shout out to Tim if you're watching this, right? But homeboy had 138 leads and he was not contacting them. They're just sitting there. He produced 100. This guy produced 138 leads in a month, and he just wasn't doing anything with them. And if he had XLeads Ninja Mode, it'd be actually pretty easy because he had the you know what? Let me just show you and do it. It's just really, really bad when you can't talk to your leads. It's not a good thing. So what I want to do is let's go inside of XLeads Ninja Mode, and let me show you exactly how the CRM works and what you can be doing to make a ton of money in this business. And so again, do not leave a lead behind. That is something I'm big on. And I see a lot of people doing that. And that's just, it's not right. It is wrong. It makes me feel terrible. It makes me want to cry. So let's go over the XLeads CRM. So I appreciate everyone coming on this morning to learn how the CRM works. And if you do not have XLeads, you can actually go to xleads.com and get a 7-day free trial. And when you get the free trial, you actually get the CRM for 7 days for free too. Now, I want to say this before I kind of get in this. This is not a full tutorial on how Ninja Mode works. So Ninja Mode is a very advanced CRM. It is, I think on the Mastermind, I kind of broke it down into 9 specific parts what the CRM does. But number 1 is a lead CRM. I think it's the one everyone kind of like already knows about. Like, hey, it is going to follow up with our leads. It's going to help us stay organized. It's going to give us kind of like a whole CEO board of what we got to deal with, right? And then it can be a dialer, a texting service, e-signing, and then it just goes down the line of everything you can do, right? It's a website builder. It's a lot of these things. But we're talking about how to use it just as a CRM, basically a database for our leads and knowing what we got to do for it, right? So this is kind of always my demo Ninja Mode I like to share to everyone and show. And more specifically, why I like to show it like this is, okay, we're going to change the Wi-Fi for a second really quick. It looks a little blurry. So bear with me. This might kick me off. Oh, the Wi-Fi gets just a little better. Looks like we moved over. No problem. All right, awesome. I'm really on Starlink out here. But okay. Oops. There we go. Okay. So let's break this all down. If it's blur or something, let me know. I can try to see if the router's all good, but okay. So this is the Ninja Mode dashboard, right? And so this is what the dashboard should look like when you sign up. Now, it's not going to have all these data points. I'm going to show you how to put the leads in and do all those stuff. But this is basically like just showing you exactly what we need to know in our business, how to be a good operator in the wholesaling space. Now, once you log into the actually, I'm going a little too fast here. Guys, if you say, Zach, slow it down, you crazy guy, I will slow it down. Okay, let's show how to get into Ninja Mode, by the way. Okay, so when you sign up to XLeads on XLeads.com, you're going to get an email to get your access into XLeads, and then you're going to email access into Ninja Mode. If you didn't get an email to access Ninja Mode, all you do is go to the left-hand side. We got all everything you can do in XLeads, right? Then there's a tab here called Ninja Mode. Ninja Mode is going to take you to a website called ninja.xleads.com, and then you'll get thrown in there. Now, if you sign up for XLeads and you didn't get your Ninja Mode access, all you have to do is when you try to sign into ninja.xleads.com, just put your email, put forgot password, and it'll reset it for you instantly there if you instantly want to get your information right. So dashboard again, this is what it's going to look like. So it's all good. We have how many leads we got, our opportunity value, how many outbound calls we're making. And then right here, I think it's simple, but in fact, that's why I love Podio so much. But Podio starts charging, absolutely ridiculous. And no software in wholesaling has a good CRM really for like sellers. So it's like, okay, what are we going to do here? But right here is tasks. I truly do believe this is probably the most important part because it's like, I'm going to call it Zach proof. So it's like dummy proof, but like it's really hard to mess up. So if on April 10th, so it's the 12th, I had to follow up with someone, it's going to tell me it's overdue. It's going to kick my butt and tell me. If I have messages from leads or missed calls from leads, it's going to pop up on here. So I have 13 unread messages from leads on this, right? It's like, dang, I got to get on that. And the cool part about this is you can text and call your leads automatically in here, which makes it a lot better. If I go to my stage distributions, I'm like, okay, I know exactly where I'm at on my leads. I have one follow-up lead and I have one appointment set. So I actually know exactly where I'm at. On top of that too, I can look on a snapshot and say, okay, on April 9th, I had an appointment. And it shows you from April 13th to the 19th. So 13th is tomorrow. But it shows you basically for the month how many appointments you had and how many appointments you have set up right now, which I believe is really, really important. And then how many contacts you have sitting out there. And then an awesome lead source report. So the dashboard is really powerful. It just gives you a snapshot. I call it the CEO snapshot. Basically what this means is when I wake up, I pop up the CRM, I have to ask myself a couple questions. And the reason I made this is because this is the same exact questions I ask you. And so you just pop up the CRM in Ninja Mode and you can pop it. So first thing I'm going to ask is, how many calls are you making? Well, right here is going to tell you how many calls you're making. On top of that too, I'm going to say like, how many leads do you have? I have 2 open opportunities. Now, there's a difference between a contact and an opportunity. If I do confuse you, please let me know in the comments. Do not want to leave anyone behind here. But basically an opportunity is like, this is a person that said, hey, I'm interested in selling my property. And when it's an opportunity, it's something that we need to take from like our regular marketing pool and like put it in the little baby nursery and nurture this lead until it's a big grown adult, right? And so we now have someone who says, I'm interested in selling my property. Now we got to bring them through a 3-step process inside the CRM to make sure they click. Now you can just go from I want to sell to boom, offer accepted, but still it's got to go through Dispo. So I'm going to show you that. So basically, once you have somebody that wants to sell in Ninja Mode, it is called an opportunity. So a lead that has not been called is not an opportunity because it's just, I guess it's got potential energy, but like it's not something who's like, okay, this can be a good deal. Well, when it's an opportunity, it's like, whoa, we get a deal. you get rich, like this is an opportunity for us to make some money. This is pretty, let's go, excited. Okay, so basically you go here, the opportunity, and then you see how much the values are. Okay, awesome. Now tasks. Tasks is important when you first wake up in the morning and look, because it's like, okay, what do I gotta do today? Oh, dang, I got an appointment today, right? Okay, oh, I gotta follow up. He told me to follow up on Saturday, right? Because sometimes you forget, you know, sometimes you had a crazy night, you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, what's going on? Well, it's right there. Okay, like it's Zach proof, dummy proof. And the cool part is if you have a big operation, right? If you have someone who's got like 3, 4, 5 people in the operation, you can go by users. So we can add users on here anytime. Again, if you go to settings, you can actually add it. If you go to my staff right here, you can go add users. Now, there is a problem with this, I will say, when you go to like add user, because if you add a user, they are going to be able to see your leads. So for me, right, I only want my dispositions managers. I want my lead manager, so someone who is going to be kind of like a junior acquisitions person, and I want my acquisitions people. Those are the only 3 people I really want in there. If I have a JV partner, I do not want them to be a user on my CRM because then they're just going to take all my leads. So if I add a user, that's cool. I think it's really cool because I can assign different leads because it's very advanced where I have multiple acquisitions managers. I can only get a lead to a certain one, and then it's going to be under their opportunities. I'm like, okay, what's John? How many opportunities does he have? Does Mary have any? And then we can go from there, right? And the cool part about it is it's really good for like someone solo, but like it's like, okay, how many follow-ups does John have? How many follow-ups does Mary have to do in the next week? It's all in there, which just takes all the guessing out of it, honestly. So, okay. So let's go back here, go to dashboard. And now we kind of see what we got to get done here, okay? So I actually want to kind of skip this over and show you the simple, stupid version. Really simple, okay? Really easy, nothing crazy, right? So shout out to Sandra. Sandra is new on XLeads, so shout, thank you so much. So Sandra, since you are new, if anyone in here is new, please don't be scared to comment. This is a smaller live stream. We're not going to have 300-400 people on. It looks like we have 73 people on, which is, it just helps one XLeads person. That's all that matters. It's recorded and people are going to come back and see this. But Sandra, if you have a question, please put it in the comments. Usually this is a smaller live stream, so I can kind of get to a lot more questions. And we'll do some one-on-ones in the end here, all right? So again, Contrarian, I want to make sure I say your name right, bro. Let me answer that question too, and we'll go from there. All right, awesome. So we're going back here, and now we're in the leads. And so I'm just going to skip and show you kind of from a 5,000 mile view of what you should just understand about the CRM portion first. And then we'll get a little more nitty gritty, okay? AV, if you have unlimited sub accounts inside of Ninja mode. So again, you can make as many users as you want. The problem is you do not want to give your buddy, here's the problem, you do not want to give your buddy access to this because then he is going to see your leads and he could steal your leads. Now, you can do it, AV, you got 5,000 people on here, but they're going to see your leads. And that is the main issue, okay? So let's go back here and break this all down. And also, last thing, if you're somebody who has a very special exemption, for example, I currently run 3 wholesaling businesses. So I run, again, a virtual wholesaling business, I run a local wholesaling business, and then I run a JV operation. Sometimes I want to separate them. Now, there's a way inside of here you can separate them. But if you really want to, if you have multiple partners and you want to separate it and create a new Ninja Mode account and you're doing a bunch of deal volume, only if you're doing deal volume, please message billing at XLeads and we can create a free new one for you, like multiple different Ninja Mode accounts. But you got to be pushing volume and just prove you're doing it and not just sharing it, but we can help you out there, all right? So, all right, let's break this part down. Let's do the 5,000 degree first. So again, we have 2 we're going to talk about right now. And then we're going to talk about some other more advanced stuff. Again, raise your hand if there's a problem. Love to help. So we have contacts and opportunities. Now, contacts is going to be something we need to add for everyone. Now, I'm going to be very fast here because of how the algorithm works. and they do not like names. I know that's really stupid. How do I hide this? That doesn't do anything important here. I'm gonna have to make it really small for some stupid reason, but okay. So I can't make it too large because of the algorithm here. But basically, this is where we add lead. I'm gonna confuse people. This is where you add contacts inside of the CRM. Now, why would you add someone who isn't a lead inside the CRM? The reason why you add somebody who isn't a lead inside of this CRM is because you want to market to them. Again, the point of ninja mode is you're acting like a ninja with your leads. So ninja stealthy, they get the job, right? I should get a ninja mode tattoo. That'd be sick, like across my whole arm. That'd be cool. But okay, so the point here is you add the lead in from XLeads, right? You get all the free skip tracing, and then boom, you can call, text, all these things, right? Now, also, if somebody is calling you from an email and they say, I want to sell, you want to add them into contacts. Because you add it in contacts, now it's in the database, and now we can connect that contact to our opportunities. We can connect it to the appointments. How I like to describe contacts is you're just caching information on the person. So if you want to connect it to another part of Ninja Mode, it's all going to be connected. So we had I believe Amber. She had a deal in Knoxville, Tennessee, and she was email blasting, and that's awesome. And she used XLeads for it. She still needs to go in here and put the lead in the contact, and then she can throw it into the e-signing and do all the other great stuff here. So how do you add a contact? Again, you go to the top left and press add contact. And then from there, again, I'm making it small on purpose, unfortunately. And we are going to go just put fake name, then you put their phone number, and then the contact type. Is it a lead, a customer? Again, it's going to be a lead, and then you just give it a time zone. The reason you want to give it a time zone, this is very important. Again, I'm on the West Coast right now. I live in Florida. So if it's a Florida lead, I put it on the east side, right? Like I put it on like New York time. If it's a lead in California, I'll put it on that time. And then you go from there. And so you're not really too confused on there. But okay, then the lead's on here. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about opportunities. Opportunities is where it's the best 5,000 mile view of looking at how everything is working inside of here, right? So let me refresh this for a sec. Okay, there you go, Starlink internet. Let's see. Alrighty, come on, Elon, help me out here. But the opportunities, again, there are 4 types of opportunity types. And you want to go through them, but like in this example, there are 3 opportunities currently. Now, I have a lot of these. I'm probably going to remove them in the next update. But I have 2 types of opportunities I'd like to look at. Now, cold calling, you can do a left to right approach. SMS is like a conveyor belt, left to right. Now, you can treat it like a conveyor belt, a scrum board, whatever you want to call it. People have different names for these type of things. But so one thing you want to do here is if you're stuck, it automatically goes to cold calling. You can just remove it if you want, but you can just go here to wholesaling. Now, this is the big board that you are going to find for all of your leads, your opportunities inside of your wholesaling business. And so what you want to do is let's go back to a contact name. So let's do Mark Lieberman. All right, that's fine. So let's say Mark Lieberman called me from a digital bandit sign and he wants to sell. Well, I'm going to press add opportunity. We're going to find our contact. So it's Mark Lieberman right there. Cha-ching. Now we can add his email on there too. We can add his phone number on there. You want to manually add the information one more time to make sure you got the right info, right? He's in the wholesaling pipeline. What stage is he on? This looks like a $20,000 deal, hopefully. And we want Rick to have the lead. Now, If I had multiple acquisitions managers, I can give the lead to somebody, or the person who's in charge of the lead can do that. Usually, you don't want to deal with infighting. You would add me as a follower on that because it's me. And as really, really cool opportunity source, I'm going to put digital banded signs. Now, when you talk to really, really high operators, when they look at their CRM, they know from all their leads where the source was. So I was sitting down talking to Luca this week, Luca Rabuffi, he's an awesome guy. And he had this sick probate deal. And then he had this awesome sick call come in. And I was like, oh, where'd that lead source come from? Goes into ninja mode, pops it in. Oh, that was a high equity cold call. Done. And they showed me like a $75,000 deal, showed where it was, another cold calling from high equity. And just that's how high level operators in the space do it. They know exactly when they get a deal where the source is from. They don't have to go and second guess it. So this is really cool. Okay. So we can also add a tag to that lead if you want. That tag has already been on there, so it's cool. So let's go create it. This does not ruin the current contact, but when I go back to Mark Lieberman on contacts, it shows his opportunities are already there. So his stuff's on there. Now I can even go down here to book an appointment. So if I already set an appointment that day, I can go in there. I can add a task for the guy to do. I can add a notes, and I can even go in here and start getting contracts done. But let's get out of here, and now we have a person, Mark, on the wants to sell tab. Now, when you're running a larger business too, it says RG. It'll tell you exactly who's in charge of that lead. I should probably have Zach in and maybe add like another fake name and show you like, when you have acquisitions managers, what it looks like on the demo account here. But the really cool thing is, okay, he wants to sell. Let's say he says, well, okay, let me tell my partner, I'll give you a call back. And I call the guy back and he says, yes, I want to sell. Or maybe he says, you know what? All right, we're going back here to contacts. Maybe he says, I don't know. But I need to call homeboy up. So how do I call him up? Well, it's really, really easy inside of CRM just to call your leads because the phone number is all inside of here. So all I can do is just press the little phone tab and give the guy a call. So it's really cool. Now, he doesn't have a phone number associated with him. I didn't add it in because YouTube does not like it. I do not know why. Okay, whatever. But again, Joyce right here is on a follow-up, and she's got a phone. I just click this button, and I'll start calling her, which is really cool. Now, again, it looks like for James here, I have an appointment set on the 14th with him. So I already see here appointment set. It already says where the appointment's at. This is really cool for the CRM. Now, let's say I want to just, verify James that appointment's all good. I just click the call button, and you see I'm already dialing him right now. Pretty cool. So we're already getting leads, already dealing that, right? So let's say Mark, I call him up, says, I don't really think about selling. I don't think I want to sell anymore. Okay. So I'm not going to delete the lead, right? I'm just going to put this guy into follow-up. But now we got to add some tasks and go from here. So this guy says he doesn't sell anymore. So we're going to go to task and just say follow up with Mark. And then Mark didn't want to sell, but will call back in 7 days to see if he changed his mind. We're going to add this in the description, notes. Oh, I'm going to save this. Add the task. Okay, this is due on the 13th. I don't like that. So let's change the due date. We're going to follow up on the 12th. We're going to follow up on the 18th. All right, and we'll do it at like 10 a.m. Cool. All right. Cool. Now we have a follow-up on the 18th. So when I say follow-up, now you can schedule an automatic text. You can't really schedule an automatic call because we don't have AI cold calling yet. We're working on it. So can't really get that done. But we can add a note here in the system and a note for him specifically. And that's good to go. Now he is under follow-ups. Now, cool part is I can go to my dashboard And kind of when I wake up on the 18th, I'll see it, right? So we had another opportunity here. Scroll down, we see pending tasks. So let's go to all for a second. Let's make sure it's under tasks here. Let's go here. All right, Mark's on there, so I just got to load up for a second. We just add his contact and make sure he's all good here. Alrighty. Cool, follow up with Mark. His task is working here, especially on contacts. So it should pop back on the dashboard. It takes like a second to add it on there. There we go. Okay, so let's already call back this James guy. Just click that when it's done. Boom. And now I have a follow-up with Mark due in 6 days. That's cool. So I even go from straight up in the dashboard. I can edit, change if I want, just like click follow up with Mark. When I click on the task, all of this got Mark's information. Now, if his phone number's here, his phone number would be there. I just click the call, boom, call Mark up and just do it from there. The worst thing I have from people in CRMs is like, it's so difficult for them to pick up their call rail and then I put the info in and then try to call from there when you just click a button and do it. Now, if I want to be even lazier, right? So, for example, let's say I'm going to hop on a plane back to Florida and the plane ride's like 6 hours direct, but I have a follow-up I have to do. It's like, well, what do I do? Well, the best thing I can do is text him. So I don't have his phone number on here. Geez. Let me add a phone number. Please pray for me. YouTube does not get mad when I do this. So let's add a phone number here for him. So I'm going to add a phone number from Mark. So we're going to do 561. Okay. I just added a phone number from Mark. Cool. So when you add a phone number for him here, it should help. It should pop up the calling features. All right. There we go. Okay, now all of his info pops up, which is good. So now if I wanted to go follow up with him, let's say I have a plane ride. I'm hopping on a plane right now, but I got to follow up with him at like noon. Sorry, I'm on California time. But okay, let's got to follow up noon. What I'm going to do is, hey, Mark. Just checking in and seeing if you were wanting that cash offer. I'm still looking to buy. Something simple. Now you can press send and just send them a text right now. But what would be better if I'm on a plane, right? You don't want to do it like too early in the morning or whatever. You just go to schedule. You can schedule the text to be on today, Saturday at, let's do 12 p.m. noon. LA time, New York time, especially with time zones and all over the world, right? You want to make sure you don't mess it up. And then you press send schedule. And it'll send you a scheduled text, email, whatever it is. And that'll be really cool here, right? And really, again, through the opportunities tab, you go from left to right. Maybe it says, okay, now I do want to sell. Well, can I meet at the house, in, like, I don't know, on Tuesday at 1? He says, that's the only time I can do it. Awesome, Mark. So go back here. And Mark now wants to sell, and he wants to do an appointment. So I'm going to go here, go to appointments. And I'm going to click here to create an appointment for Mark. And he's a lead appointment, which is awesome. Cool. All right, cool. His time slot. So the appointment here is going to be on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Awesome. And he is confirmed. I'm going to just put appointment with Mark. And it should be good. So I'm going to press book appointment. And you should be all good there. So now we have a confirmed 2 p.m. appointment with Mark here. And boom, we're all good to go. And what we got to do here is we go to dashboard now. Again, when you add a task, a lead, an appointment, it's just going to take a second for the API to hit. See how this task is over now because the appointment's been set and it's all good, which is awesome here. Okay, cool. Now we got an upcoming appointment on next week, which is sick. And we're good to go. So now we see the distribution on there. We're good to go. I can go back here on my calendar and I'm going to click appointment list view. And my appointment with Mark is confirmed for the 15th. Now, what's really cool here is under calendar settings. This is what I like to do because I am lazy. Not lazy, but sometimes I forget. Whatever. I like to connect my lead appointments calendar right here. Go to edit calendar. You can actually go out here and you can create this custom URL. You see this widget? You can add this widget really to anything and you'll be good to go. Now what I like to do is availability. I put my availability times. I put my notifications, which is very important, email and app. So the cool part is I'm going to get emailed when I have the appointments. Hey, reminder you have an appointment tomorrow. Also, connections is probably my favorite one. So set up your external calendar. Now you click that button and it's going to set up external calendars for you to connect with. So let's pop this up and show you. So you can connect this with Google Calendar, Apple, iOS, all these crazy things. And you click that, you connect it. Now I currently use Google Calendar and my Google Calendar pops up on my iPhone and then they're all synced up together. So just click that button and it'll sync everything up for you. So when you add an appointment, it's going to be thrown on my phone and I make sure that, let's go here to the notifications tab. I'm insane. I want to get an email when an appointment is booked. I want to get an appointment right before the lead gets done. And here's the cool part too. You see this little button here that says allow Google Calendar to send invitation and update emails. Boom. And then when the email gets rescheduled inside of here, it gets rescheduled on your phone. And the cool part is like an hour before the appointment, 30 minutes, 2 hours, a day before the morning of, I just get email, bang! Because what I personally do, and this is how I kind of work with my life, is I go everything on Google Calendar. So everything's kind of on a cloud. So if I don't my phone, I have multiple computers, I just go to Google Calendar, and it's all in there. And then I get emails, I can send it, I can have people who are working on my staff to look at it too. And I know exactly what I gotta get done for the day. And then from there, we have, again, our leads. So let's pop this up right here. And we're pretty much good to go on that end. I think the only other thing here is that's just how you go through opportunities. So let's say we have a contract signed. Well, then I go here to under contract, and we're just gonna upload the contract. So we can go here to documents, and I'd press add, and I would upload the PDF of the signed contract inside of that tab. And so you just add a new file and you upload a PDF of the contract. It's very important you have backups of contracts. I don't know if you have ever accidentally lost a signed contract before. It is one of the scariest, most helpless feelings ever. And especially when you e-signing it, it's like, oh, deleted. When you do enough contracts, it happens at least once or twice, and I'm extremely paranoid. On top of this too, this is very important too. When you kind of get to a higher level in wholesaling, you sometimes have to do memorandums. Sometimes you have affidavits. Now, you shouldn't be doing them all the time, but sometimes you need to. And these are leads from like a year or 2 years down the road. Now they come and say like, oh, we're trying to sell, but you have an affidavit that's going on. You have it where it's like, well, give me an original of the contract or show me a copy of the contract. So they're like, oh, that was from 3 years ago. Someone like me who's been wholesaling for 8+ years, it's like, oh, my Gmail got hacked. Here's the cool part. That thing is saved in that system forever in there, as long as you still have XLeads. And it will be uploaded in there forever. Pretty dang cool. And pretty much from there, then you have that lead. So go back to opportunities. And now it's under contract. And now it's set to close with the cash buyer. Boom, set to close. You're good to go. Now, the only other thing we can go over, I guess, really quick too, is the e-signing, because you need to get e-signed from a seller. Sometimes you have to get it e-signed from a cash buyer or even a JV. So again, you go to documents and contracts right here. You press add new, upload existing PDF, and you upload your contract right here. So let's upload a contract really quick. For an example, let's see here. All right, cool. Let's upload this one and press upload. Now we're going to have this sucker uploaded real quick. All right. Awesome. Purchase and sale agreements right here. So again, you're going to fill this out and do all that stuff, right? And then basically you press add an element. We're going to add a signature for the seller. So again, we have that Mark Lieberman guy. So it's like, oh, where is he? Well, we got to add a recipient. Go into our contacts. Mark Lieberman got all of his info right there. Now he does not have an email. So let's just choose another random person. Oh no. Do I have a random John in here with an email? There we go. Cool. He's got an email. And then we're going to add another recipient on the signature side, which would probably just be me. Rick and you. Fine. Cool. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it on there. And then you just press send, and then you can send via email, or you can send it via link, just in case you don't get the link. But pretty much for like John right here, you copy this. That's what it looks like for him. And all he has to do is just click this. He gets an email saying, oh, what's going on? Press start filling out. He's right there. He clicks sign, accepted sign. Boom, you're good to go. Now, if you want to see it, what it looks like here too. Pop up. Press resend. You can send via email. Here's really cool. You see this document default. You can actually change what the email to the seller looks like. So it's actually pretty cool. So you can actually edit what it looks like when you send it to them. So document for John Smith. It says, hey, John, sent you a doc. Let's see. Hey, John, Zach sent you a document. Please see the details below, and you're good to go. They're pretty cool. You can add extra stuff. You can add your company logo. Like you can go all sexy and fancy and do your own little hoopla thing on there and get really crazy if you want. You can see what it looks like on a desktop, a mobile view, and you'll be good to go on there. And then boom, you get it e-signed right there. So that's really kind of my quick tutorial on Ninja Mode here. I didn't want to get too crazy. I just wanted to talk about specifically about the CRM part with leads, because we have all these tutorials on calling the leads. We have all these tutorials on text blasting and automations and all of these fancy schmancy things. But I want to make it really simple and really easy for like, how do I deal with leads right now? This is the best one we can do. Now, a quick bonus I can give to everyone too is you can actually go to contacts, and let's go back to that Mark guy. We do John right here, right? Now, if I want to follow up with John every single month, but I just don't want to deal with him because he annoys me, but I want to send him a follow-up email every single month. All I have to do is press follow-up, and what automation is going to be put on them. So we'll go back to automations and show you. Is we're going to go here to follow-up monthly. And what's going to happen is we're going to send him a follow-up email every single month for about 3 months. So I don't have to go deal with him. And he has sent a follow-up email. Boom. Simple as that. So that is the CRM portion for dealing with motivated seller leads. So when you want to go deal with leads, CRM's good to go. You're awesome. That's how you deal with it. So it's pretty cool. So that's how you deal with it. And you're good to go. So